Hello there everybody and welcome back again. This is the one that will get us right here from the Evening Academy, Abendakademie, to Heidelberg. Alrighty everybody, hello there and welcome back again. This is the number 5 that took us straight from downtown into downtown. From Mannheim to Heidelberg without much of any interruptions. What used to be the OAG that I had to catch before is now a non-stop ride for approximately around 1 hour, and we are in Heidelberg and off we go. And off we go to Heidelberg's little side gig, the pedestrian passage. Also, just like Mannheim, they got their own little pedestrian area here, which is some nice part of the Historic District of Heidelberg. And that should take us right on to route of the university with the square. Starting out with one of the few celebrities. Von der Entfernung. It's a fairly new building here, around 1901. Station. And this happened to be the Providence Church. And a fantastic camper from the outside. And this hotel now also including an Irish pub. I'm assuming this building is also referring to the establishment for around 1603. In some places of the city they have a little bit more harbor accordion style, and in some other places you get a little more classical. Looks like this discotheque is going back way to 1900. And with this old tower back there that happens to be, this is an old part of the city wall. And as we are approaching one of the oldest buildings period, this happened to be the Hotel Ritter, or otherwise the Knights Hotel. And if I get this correctly, it's one of the buildings that dates back way back into the Middle Ages. And here we have some historical details. As I just now also learned, it's the only building that survived the savaging of the War of Succession of the 1689-93, the 7 years of the scorched earth policy from the French. And also back to back we got that guest house to the deer. And this takes us into the Protestant Heidelbergs, the Church of the Holy Spirit.
We did all this shit in Tirana. Remember that museum?
And in the little distance right there, you can already see the spot of the Heidelberg Castle and Palace. Yep. And from the bottom up in full scale, and you have this little wonderful fountain right in front of the Academy of the Sciences, still overshadowed by the palace and the castle.
Bueno, pero es lo mejor para llegar ahí.
the palace in the background is pretty much almost anywhere visible from the lower historic district of Heidelberg. We're taking on a little uphill passageway, very done by rocks. A good little historical walkway that will lead us up to the palace. Well, that's definitely something new here that I have not seen before. A habitat of some really unique buffaloes, I would say. Have to figure out what unique creatures they are. And you have to be definitely in good shape. Not that I'm extremely in good shape, but is going a little steam up the hill. Some nice exercise. Here's a local directory. And as you can see at the lower part, thanks God, it is even your English version right there. Definitely had you going into some dungeons here, spreading all around to the castle. And we're actually approaching something very unique, and I'm glad to see this for the first time in a long time. This is a piece of rock belonging at one point in time to the tower above, and this is called the Fallen Tower, and it's been sitting there like a little mishap from the medieval days, but as far as I remember, it was destroyed in the medieval times, and it's been sitting there ever since. It fell off and got itself some good stable ground. We should see some more evidence on what famous people here have witnessed this new interesting rock. And here's a very unique local water source for you. Love to get me some of that good stuff. A spring that's been drilled into the rock in around 1767, and I simply let you have the rest. And guess what? There was water drawn from here and brought to Mannheim. How interesting. Let's roll it. As long as I can bring myself back to Mannheim. And here it is, on a millions of years old land surface, and the English version for you happen to be right there, known as to be the Heidelberg Castle moat. That even updates me a little bit here, but we knew this thing had at one point in time some really ancient history. It looks like some of those rocks dating back to 340 million years. All right. We made it up the steps after all. And here again, since I'm so close by, I want to take at least advantage of one more, if not two more things. Here we have the upper spring, the electoral spring. And again, that's part of the spring that we've seen earlier, where you hear the water drops coming on down and bringing water to his royal courtship. Well, this is a motif of the Romance here. I'm not quite sure if that plate is still there. We got the sign over here that showed there was a drawing inspired by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, and there used to be a plate commemorating just that, which was usually just around here, and he was drawing that 1779 drawing from this tower. And I remember it once was here a plate. It showed a copy of the drawing engraved, so we don't have that no more, but we get to have that unique side of that fallen tower that he once drew.